How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. My hair looks a hot mess because I have a hair appointment right after this. I'm so sorry, y'all. But we're going to get this popping because I have 2 videos to do. I'm going to do, this is the Kandi and the Gang season 1. I believe this is episode 8. I think, I'm not sure, but I will put the correct episode on the description box below right before we get to the finale that's supposed to do next week. I haven't been doing the reviews because I haven't had time. Now that I'm getting back into the groove of things, we're about to get into this damn review. When you're done with this, I did do my review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 episode 1 review premiere, The Edge of Fashion. Go listen to it because it's entertaining. And I also did my review for Love After Lockup. That shit is funny as hell, only because of the episode that had just taken place. And I did the marriage boot camp, so I don't know what YouTube algorithm shit is going on, but go check that out if you have the time. Binge watch, bitch, and then enjoy your life. So we get into it. Now, this Kandi and the Gang episode, every time I hear the name or the word Peau Confidant or Peau Confiante, I think that's what he was trying to say. First of all, what is with these black folks? First Marlo and with Le Archive, then you have this one, Peau Confiante. I don't know what they're trying to give, but with the southern twang that Patrick has when he says that shit, my husband and I just laughed the entire time. Like, I could not stop laughing because I understand the idea behind it, but that name, Patrick, I like Patrick. Patrick's entertaining. He thinks he's the sexiest man on earth. He has a good down-to-earth personality. You know, I mean, he's not a bad dude. I think he did Chandrika dirty when she had that freaking home spiritual / gospel housewarming party that Safari didn't want Chandrika's ass to come to, but then somehow she was invited and then he left the ass outside. Aside from that, his personality is cool, but this ain't it. I think a different name. But we get into it, and it's basically, we see Philip's fine ass, the director of operations now at Old Lady Gang. He's now basically talking to Brian, and y'all know that Brian and him had got into an issue prior where Brian came in, having been in as a bartender / server for a while. He was enjoying life, enjoying people, customers liked him. Brian is funny, he's a whole mood. But then Philip came in. Philip had like a strong, firm hand. This is what I want you to do. This is what I'm going to do. He didn't really give time to build rapport with the group. So he got into it with Brian and had to suspend his ass. So it's nice to see them both getting along right now. Finally, Philip is now becoming a part of the Old Lady Gang group. So we saw that happening. And then we also find out, with the Peau Confidant, that it's supposed to be an essential oil line, like a skincare type thing, which you could also use to massage yourself and also use it for Mr. Nasty Time is what he called it. And he's now trying to release this new product out, but he wants people, Patrick as in want people to come over to his house or his location, wherever his ass set up, and he wants people to come there and take pictures that he could use, preferably Todd and Kandi, because they're like the famous ones on TV. So if he has a picture of Todd out there and people know who he is based on knowing Kandi and Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm sorry, something's in my eye, then it's easy for him to move the product. But he said his cameraman is, basically bailed on him. So the person is going to do the camera, that's going to take photos or do the photo shoot is going to be Safari. Tryn is my mood. Tryn is like Safari is going to do the event planning for the housewarming. She's going to do the home decor for the housewarming. It don't even look like they did not a damn thing to it. She's a photographer. She's a masseuse. She is everything, and I ain't mad at her, child. If it was my man too, and Patrick has already put himself out there as a potential hoe, wanting to screw everything with a post, whatever the hell he's doing, I will be there too. I will be your photographer. I will be your striptease model. I will be your dentist. I will be your doctor. I will be your teacher. I will be your boss. I will be your wife. I will be everything and anything just so I can keep an eye on your ass, especially when Chandrika is around. So Safari's gonna be there to do the photo shoot. Tryn's gonna be there to set everything up, to make it look nice, and everybody's in the staff are invited because it's his product that he wants to push. So Tryn is not going around letting everybody know this is what's gonna happen, and he's letting, as soon as he said Peau Confidants, I started laughing along with Dom and Chandrika and everybody else, that Brian, I started laughing along with him because Peau, I don't even think it's pronounced, is it Peau or Pew? Because the way it's spelled, the way it's spelled and the way that it's pronounced is very different. The way that he says it is Peau as in P-O-O, but it's spelled kind of like Pew, okay? But he calls it Peau Confidant. And when we're sitting up there talking about it, Dom is like, that sounds like shit. Because it does sound like shit. And if I'm putting something on my skin, I don't want to be thinking about shit. but Patrick is extra, so he wanted to do something extra, so this is what he chose for his line. I'm taking. But while they're doing this, Brian is also researching Philip, and we find out that Philip has an alter ego named Quasi. Philip's fine ass, he used to be a model, and he has a nice body, well taken care of. He's gay though. He ain't gonna go for me, but I'm just saying. He has a nice body, he has a beautiful face, and he did not tell people that he has that body underneath them clothes, because Brian has now found Quasi, and Brian and Torin are looking at him the way that I was looking at him when I first saw the photo. God bless you, Philip. As much as your attitude sucks, you can just stay quiet and the rest of your body can just speak for itself. But they found him, and they're looking at it, and they're wondering whether he has this, you know, what this photos are about, because they're very sexual. Some of them are very enticing. They're like, you know, he got one with his leg up, he got one with his ass out, and his chest popped up. I mean, it was just nice. It was nice. Then we get to a scene with Melvin and Brian. Melvin and Brian meet up because now it looks like Brian is now trying to branch out with really going out there and doing his egg roll business, where he's doing soul food egg rolls, and he wants to start off with a food truck. So they go looking at food trucks. Brian had the nerve to say that he wants a food truck that's all black with pink words on it. I said, bruh, this is not a party bus. This is not a bus that you would find in Vegas where you sitting out there picking up people that are gonna be coming out drunk and hoeing themselves. This is supposed to be a food truck. We don't need shit like that. Do it tastefully, okay? Put some food pictures on there, put some nice utensils on there as, you know, photos. I mean, make it look nice, you know, put a name on there, but that's about it. You don't need to bedazzle the whole damn bus or the food truck. So then they're looking around, and he finds out that the food truck is gonna be approximately $70K. Now, if I were him, I would go to a bank, bad credit or not, and just apply for a loan to buy a truck. And then whatever money they give you, you put down a certain amount, and then you just do your monthly payments based on what you have as your job. But obviously, if you do that, you're gonna have a payment plan. But considering that this business he's doing is actually something that I feel like could really take off, he could probably pay that shit off within a month or two. And you know, and Melvin let him know, like, yo, this is really good food. If you buy this food truck, yeah, I know, you know, you don't want to go borrow money and, you know, and worry about that. I know you have to save money for actually getting your shit running. So you don't want to be worried about, hey, I got to pay this $70K right away. You know, it's better to just borrow. But Brian is looking more to borrow closer to home than to go closer to the bank. I.e., I want to go to Kandi and Todd and see if they can find some of that money that they got in their little businesses and run it my way and invest in my thing, which is also a good idea. But Todd lost his damn mind when Brian was pitching him the whole thing. So I'm gonna get to that one in a minute. So they talk about it, and that scene ends up, you know, and they're done with that scene. We get to Dom. It seems like because Dom is now going to London, she's gonna be on Rick Ross tour. Yay, Dom. Love me some Dom. She can dance. She got a nice body. Yes, girl, go get it. But she's about to go to London, and it looks like they're gonna have to replace her as a bartender. So Philip and Don Juan are now discussing what they're gonna do as far as the bartending situation, and you know what they're gonna do. And Philip decides to bring up Chandrika. Now y'all remember the first episode or two, whatever, when Philip first came in, Chandrika and Philip kind of got into it because Chandrika does talk too fucking much. Okay, I was ready to fire her ass immediately as soon as she came on because of how she was acting. She was acting like she owned something. She wasn't acting like somebody who was given a job. She was acting like she owned the entire company. And she did not. Not to mention, she got recently caught on camera running her fucking mouth. So I was like, she can go. If she ain't appreciative, she can just go on somewhere and go wherever somebody else, you know, I don't want to deal with her ass. But now, as time has progressed, I've seen her personality with her boyfriend. She has a beautiful body, beautiful face. And I've seen how she kind of has adapted with Philip's management. And Philip himself has noticed that she's doing a good job. So they're going to now promote her to being the manager or the head person of the person that greets everybody in front of the door, because they're the first impression that they get is from her, and she's been doing a good job with it. So they're going to do that, but they're going to go ahead and get her back by making her feel like they're about to fire her or write her up prior to doing this. Philip's going to get her back just one good time for what she put him through, which I'm all here for it. Then we have we get to the photo shoot of Peau Confiante. Confiante. I mean, hell, Patrick described it as wanting women to be confident in their skin. Wouldn't it be better to even call it Peau Confidant? It's like Confiante. Confiante, like you're saying croissant, but croissant makes more sense than Peau Confiante. I'm just saying. But they're doing this, you know, Torin gets there, he sets everything up. Safari comes, she's about to take her photos. Everybody starts showing up. Don Juan is like, I'm not finna be sitting up here with my clothes off with these oils around me talking about Peau Confiante. That's shit that sounds silly as hell. So I'm just gonna sit here, put on this damn robe, lay down on this floor with this freaking thing in front of my face and act like I'm doing something fine or something sexy. Don Juan, he didn't do the photo justice, but whatever. Just, you know, crop his out or touch it up, whatever the hell you want to do something else with it. But then we get to Philip comes out and Philip takes off his clothes, and I'm like, this is what you need to put. If you're gonna have this horrible ass name like Peau Confiante, you might as well have Philip's ass on there, because that's what's gonna attract people to buy this damn thing. Okay, then we had a few other people do it. Chandrika took photos, and Safari was good. You know, she didn't mistreat her or whatever the case is. She was very mature about the situation, and I appreciated that. Then we have Kandi and Todd coming in. Todd took off his clothes and did what he did. And for an old ass man, he did a great job. He still looks good. Him and his grays. He looks fine too. Shit, Todd. Kandi knew what she was doing when she picked him. And then here comes Brian and Dom walking in, or Brian and Chandrika walking in. Was it Chandrika or Dom? I think it was Brian and Chandrika walking in with a shirt with Philip half naked on it, saying Quasi on it, coming in because Brian is a hot mess and cracks me the hell up, okay? And they're looking at it and they see that this is what his alter ego was. So Kandi goes, Philip, were you modeling or something? He goes, yeah, I used to model for a company. That was my title, Quasi, and this is what it was. I don't know where he got Quasi from, because all comes into my head is Quasimodo. And I'm like, Quasimodo was considered the beast of Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't think of that when I see you, but hell, your attitude might be beastly, but not your looks. So we have, they make a joke about it, they laugh about it, and I said, okay, this is cool. But then what cracked me up is they now have, you know, they have Torin, they have, you know, Rashad, I think, was there, and then they had Brian about to take his photos, and Patrick's ass goes in confessional and said he's all for every sexuality, he's all for whatever, he's all for LGBTQHDTV, he's all for them. He didn't even know how to say LGBTQIA+, he's just like LGBTQISTRVHDTV, wax on, wax off, plus. We're all for you. Hell, put all the alphabets in there. And it's just that Patrick, now I understand why he picked Peau Confiante. Patrick is not unintelligent, and this business is a good thing, but articulating himself sometimes is just, when he speaks, his brain is not going as fast. He's kind of slow in the, like when he processes things a little slower. So we just had to get out of time. But I understood what he was saying. It was just funny as shit to watch, because the producers sat there and let him torture himself and did nobody tell him what the real acronym is. And that was funny as hell. So then we finish that scene. We get to the bartending interview scene. And all I want to say is, I don't know how Philip, as strict as he is, could have somebody like this, his brother's girlfriend, come and audition drunk for a bartending role. This bitch can't control her liquor. She'll be the one drinking all the liquor that's supposed to go to the customers. And when they were sitting up there asking her questions, Philip was trying to help her along by giving her the answers, and this bitch was so drunk she wasn't catching nothing. It was the most ghetto shit I have ever seen. She had the nerve to do that on TV, girl. You had the opportunity to really get yourself a good gig, and you're gonna come up here drunk and you're gonna come up here and do this. It was embarrassing to watch. I know Philip was like gonna go back to his brother and be like, don't ever put me into the type of situation before. This bitch is crazy. She don't know what the hell she's doing. Find her a different job and teach her how to fucking interview, because she even came there cussing. Come on now. The other two that they interviewed did a great job. Then we get to the scene where they're gonna pay back Chandrika, right? Chandrika comes in, it's Philip and Don Juan. Philip starts off by telling her that her work ethic isn't good, that they see her doing this, they should have done that. Chandrika's like, well, first of all, before you fire somebody, you should have write me up first, give me a warning. She went through all the things. She wasn't about to lose her job, but she was already, you could already tell the defense came up. And Philip just kept going. He didn't have any mercy for her. He was just dinging whatever makeup stuff he wanted to ding just to make her feel a little flustered. When they were done irritating the hell out of her and pushing her to where I was happy she didn't cuss nobody out, they now told her we were just playing. And you could just see her exhale, because she'd already been called twice for doing something stupid. First, she got caught by Don Juan on camera running her mouth to Brandon. Then she now got caught by Philip doing something she's not supposed to do in her job, then to now sit here and after they did this to her, now tell her, yo, we're gonna promote you. It was a good look. She was very happy, and I was very happy for her. I'm all for everybody's success, but it was nice to see that her and Philip came a long way as far as being able to interact with each other, and I like this episode for that. Then we have the final scene of Patrick, who Patrick is a lovely dude. He seems very charismatic, very easy to talk to, very easy to get along with, but Patrick sometimes makes unreasonable choices. He has been with Safari not more than a year, or barely over a year, number one. Number two, this scene, the way he described it was this is his first time meeting Safari's father, and Safari is a very cautious into what guys she brings around her dad, which is rightfully so. I don't just bring random dudes to my father's house. Like, we don't do shit like that. But she brought him over for the first time meeting him, Mr. Abdul. And Patrick doesn't understand that you have to give yourself time to build rapport with this man. He just met you for the first time. You have to go there, and she decides, I can't wait, impatient as ass. I want to go ask him if he give me his blessing to ask Safari to be my wife. And the man, while they're playing golf, slowly, he's trying not to insult poor Patrick, but Patrick is not getting the hints. He said, can I have your blessing? The man's like, well, if Safari decides that she wants to be with you, then I'll support her. That's another way of saying, I don't know your ass. I'm gonna support my daughter. If she thinks she's happy with you, then I'll support her. But we just met for the first time. As far as I'm concerned, child, I don't know you. So I'm not gonna give you blessing to marry my daughter as you were a stranger. Patrick has a little slow, so he wasn't catching that. In his head, he's in the confessional going, do I get it or not? I'm like, bruh, it will be a no if you force this, okay? Because you are a stranger to this man. So calm your ass down and understand the circumstances and read the damn room. So that was this episode. I was very happy to see it. It was enjoyable. It wasn't like, I wouldn't say spicy like Portia Family Matters type situation, but it was entertaining enough for Bravo to put the ratings up that people are watching it. Right before Nene went and sued them because she didn't get her own show, right? So that's what that was. The next episode, Patrick's gonna move forward to go ahead and propose to her. We're gonna see what she's gonna say. Rashad has been caught sneaking drinks, so we're gonna see if Kandi's gonna fire his ass or whatever the hell she's gonna do. I did wanna talk about the meeting with Todd and Brian when Brian went to pitch Todd his business meeting with his egg rolls. Has some taste, did a good job, taste the food, say this is really good. He had cheesecake, egg rolls, and stuff like that to go with it. Then he pitched him saying, I want for $100,000 to help me start my business. You get 20% of this business. Todd had the nerve to fix his mind and say, no, not 20%. It's got to be 50-50. Todd, you trying to rob this poor boy. Now, I'm all for Kandi and how Kandi approaches helping family members like Melvin and all these people, but Todd is out of his fucking mind. This idea of egg rolls was Brian's idea. He will be the one cooking it. It's going to be his recipe. It's going to be his very, very authentic recipe. Whoever heard of egg rolls with cheesecake? This type of stuff is going to blow the fuck up, and he knows that. So why would you try to take 50% of somebody else's hard work? As a genuine individual, I would have said 30, maybe 35, maybe a decent, but 50%, like that's cold as hell when this is not 50% your idea. You didn't even know nothing about this. I brought this to you. And yes, you're investing $100,000 into this, but when they show the calculations of it, 20% gets him a full $25,200 already. So if you triple that, you're already going to make your money many times over. So you don't need 50%. You're going to get your money plus interest in a short amount of time. You tripping. You trying to play Brian like he's just... No. I feel like Brian, if I was him, he'd just go talk to Kandi. Because Kandi, I think, will be fair, but reasonable at the same time. You're trying to lift somebody up, not lift them up, but take half of whatever it is they done busted their ass for. Like, if I was Brian, he told me that shit, I would have gone to Kandi, asked her. If Kandi said no, then I would have just gone and got my freaking, gone to a bank, get my freaking, a loan just to buy the damn truck, and have some money saved up to where I can just start off, give it maybe a year, save that tax money, do something, or have family members, chip in. But Todd's out of his damn mind with this 50%. He's trying to, this thievery. You're trying to steal from this poor guy, and that's not fair. I like Brian. All right, that was it. Go ahead and check out my reviews for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Marriage Boot Camp, Love After Lockup, which I think is really funny. And also go ahead and check out my next review on Bad Boys LA, because Milan is about to meet his match, okay?